Question number 16. A survey find the price paid for 2 years old Ford Fusion car are normally distributed with the mean of 17,500 and standard deviation of 500. Use 68-95-997 rules to find the percentage of the people who between 17,000 to 18,000, 17,000, less than or more than 19,000. That's the question. So here we're going to use the rules called 68, 95, 99.7 rules. Okay, this rules based on the chart. I'm going to draw the chart here, how the chart looks like. Everything, this question is answered on the chart. So this is the price here, and this is the distribution of the price of the Ford Fusion. This is the mean price here. So mean price, if you look at the question, mean price is 17,500. I would write 17,500 as the mean price here. So now this is what you're going to do. You draw the line here, and this price represent the mean. Let me put the circle here, like this price is the mean. Now we have another points here, which is 1 standard deviation above the mean, 2 standard deviation above the mean, 3 standard deviation above the mean. Again, this is the 1 standard deviation above, 2 standard deviation above, 3 standard deviation above the mean. Here you go 1 standard deviation below, 2 standard deviation below, 3 standard deviation below the mean. So what I'm going to do here, I'm add the standard deviation, which is 15,000, to this mean. So you get 18,000 here, okay? Because 17,500 plus 5,000 plus 500 equals to 18,000. So again, add 500, you get 18,500, and you get 19,000. Okay, so similarly, subtract 500 on this way, you get this as 17,000. You get this as 16,500. You get this one 16,000. So you have each points represent some price here. So the rule says this. Let me make a section here. Rule says this percentage, each section has a percentage. This is 34%. This is 34%. This is 13.5%. This is 13.5%. This is 2.35%. Again, this is the standard, okay? 2.35%. And this other side here is 0.15%. The side here is 0.15%. So that's what you got to do. If you use the rules, this rule 68, 95, 99.7 rules, you have to draw this chart. This is fixed percentage here. So now to answer the first question, how much people pay, find the percentage of people paid between 17,000 and 18,000. 17,000 here, 18,000 here. Note, this is 17,000 and 18,000. 17,000, 18,000. How much percentage total? 34 plus 34. The answer for this question is 34% plus 34%, which gives you 68% for the part A. For the part B, less than 17,000. So 17,000 here. You see the 17,000 is here. Less than going to be this way. So you add 13.5, 2.35, and 0.15. So you add 13.5% plus 2.35% plus 0.15%. That gives you 16%. So finally, looking for more than 19,000. So 19,000 here, more is going to be this way. Let me just put this is the more than 19,000. So you see the 0.15%. So this is the C is 0.15%. That's how you answer the question number 16. Question number 17. For the following pair of variables, whether you believe that two variables are correlated. If you believe that these two variables are correlated, state whether the correlation is positive or negative. So question A, latitude and the average height temperature in June. So you have two variable, latitude and the average height temperature. So if you move to the north, more north you move from the equator, the temperature is going to be decreases. So this is going to be you increase the latitude, your temperature is going to be reduced. So it causes negative coloration, because if latitude increases, average high temperature decreases, so it's negative. And also we can say strong negative. Okay, um, strong negative. So second question, per people, weight and how frequency that person attend the rock concert. So two variable here. Weight is a variable. Other variable is frequency that person attend the rock concert. So I I think there is no relation between weight and the how often frequency, how often the person attend the rock concert. So I should say there is no correlation here. So there is no correlation. Okay, no correlation. That means no relation between the two variables. Correlati. That's the answer. Part C, for the people again. Age and the time spent on the social networking site. So age is the variables, time is spent on social networking site, another variables. Time is spent and age. So and this is the I think the correlation here, and because as people get older, the time spent on the networking side gonna be less and less. So as increases, time is spent decreases. So this is negative, but this is not as strong as A. This is the weak negative. Weak negative. Okay. Part D, for people, height and waist size. Height is a variable, waist size is a variable. So in general, if height increases, we expect waist size also increases. That means taller people has bigger waist size. That's why we expect. So this is going to be also there is an association, but should say positive, because we expect height increases, also waist size increases, but it's not as strong. This is say weak positive. We can call weak positive. Okay, that's the part D. Part D, for countries, fertility rate of women and life expectancy. There's two variables, fertility rate and the life expectancy. So the in reality, the women who bear fewer children are predicted to live longer than those who bear none or many children. So the woman who has more children lives shorter than the woman who has no children. So these two variables has a negative correlation, negative, and could be strong negative. Okay, strong negative correlation between these two, fertility rate and the life expectancy. Question number 18. A teacher makes a following list of grades. She gave her 25 students on an essay. Here's the grades here. They display the data with the frequency table and relative frequency table, and also find the cumulative frequency for each category of the data. So to make each category of the data frequency, you got to find how many category of the data. So I got to find the grade as a category. So first column going to be grade. Grade is going to be A, B, C, D, and F. They are the grade, right? So this is the first column. Second column should be for frequency, frequency, and third column for relative frequency, freq. I just write freq as frequency, and the last column for cumulative, cumulative, cumulative frequency. Okay, that's what you got to find. So this is called distribution, called frequency distribution, or relative frequency distribution, or cumulative frequency distribution. So let's find the frequency of each category of the data, which are A, B, C, D, and F. So A here, data, which is repeated how many times, that's called frequency. A has 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. So frequency of A is 4. Similarly, you count the frequency of B, how many B here? That's the frequency of B, which is 7. And you count the frequency of C, which is 9. And D has a frequency 3. F has a frequency 2. That is frequency of each category of the data. Relative frequency, again, total number of data are going to be 25, because there's 25 students in the class. So if you add all the frequency, that's going to be 25. Now let's find the relative frequency of each category of the data. So relative frequency of A going to be frequency of A divided by 25. Okay, that if you divide this in the calculator, you get 0.16. That's the relative frequency. Also, you can see as a percentage, this is also called 16%. So in other words, 16% people in her class got A as a grade in the essay. So that's how you find the relative frequency of A. Similarly, relative frequency of B is going to be 7 divided by 25, which gives you 0.28. It's called 28%. Again, this is the decimal representation, this is the percentage. Relative frequency of C is going to be 9 over 25, which gives you 0.36. Relative frequency of D is going to be 3 over 25, which gives you 0.12. And relative frequency of F is going to be 2 over 25, which gives you 0.08. Okay, 0.08. So again, you can see this as a 36%, 12%, and 8%. That's how you find the relative frequency. Now, cumulative frequency is slightly different. So cumulative frequency of A going to be same as frequency 4. So I'm going to write the 4 here for cumulative frequency. The cumulative frequency of B is going to be 4 plus 7, which is 11. Cumulative frequency of C is going to be 11 plus 9, which is 20. And for D, cumulative frequency is going to be 3 plus 20, 23. And finally, 23 plus 2 is going to 25 is cumulative frequency of F. That's how you do. So that's the answer of the question number 18. Okay, use the table to find the percentile. The percentile is same as percentage. Okay, percentile of the following data values. Explain the meaning of the percentile in each case. So our data value, 1 standard deviation below the mean. So to find the percentile, that is 1 standard deviation below the mean, you got to find 1 here on the z-score. Okay, see that's value here, 1 standard deviation below the mean. This 1 represents the z-score. So this 1 value here is z-score. Okay, so you look for the z-score and find the percentile, which is percentage. So where's 1 here? 1 here is here. So 1 is here. 84.13 is the percentile. So that's the below. Okay, whatever you see the number, this is 84.13 is 1 standard deviation below. So this is the here below. The below, this whatever you see percentile, that many percentage below that the value. So percentile or percentage gonna be 84.13%. Again, this number here, percentile as a percentage. So what do you mean by that? Explain the meaning of the percentile in each case. That means the percentile, let me write down here, percentile, that percentile, whatever percentile is 84.13, meaning that 84.13% data value are less than or equal to that data value, whatever that value, that data value going to be, that data value, I should say that data value. So in other words, 84.13% other data are less than equals to that data value whose z-score is 1. So again, you're looking for percentile of this 0.5. So let's find 0.5 here on the table. 0.5 is here, here. So 69.15, 69.15. So this comes 69.15 is a percentile. In other words, 69.15% data value is below that data value whose z-score is 0.5. That's what we call. So this is the answer for this question, percentile, or you can see as a percentage 69.15%. Also we can see that percentile as a percentage too. This is below, okay, below that data value, below. But if the question is above the mean, so you can use 1.5 again here. So this is the 1.5, 93.92, 1.5, 93.32. So one is 93.32 is above. So the below gonna be 100% minus 93.32%, that gives you 6.68%. that is above the mean. Okay. Question number 20. Write an equation for the linear function and use it to answer the given questions. The price of the particular model car is 11,730 today and rises with time at a constant rate of 1125 per year. So every year the price is going to increase by 1125. This is the slope. And how much will a new car cost in 3.2 years? So you got to find the linear function, and the form of the linear function in the slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b. In this case, y is the price, because price is the function of the time. Here x is the time. So if you write the function, I can write as p of x. I should say p of t, because price is the function of time. So p of t equals to m, as the slope is 1125 t. That's the slope, because that's the rate of changes, how much is going to be every year. That is slope, plus the beginning, the price of the car is 11,730. That's the today, that's the initial price. So this is the function that model the car price after some year. So next question, find the cost of the car in 3.2 years. You put t equals to 3.2 in the function. So p 3.2 equals to 1125 times 3.2 plus 11,730. That gives you how much? If you do the calculation, you get 15,330 years, $30 after 3.2 years. That's the price of the car after 3.2 years. Next question, number 21. In a given year, the population of a certain country is about 150 millions. Okay, in that year is 150 million. The overall birth rate is 37 birth per thousand, and the death rate is 19 death per thousand. Okay, that's the given. If the population of the country increased by 1.05 million, what is the approximate net immigration to the country during this year? So we are looking for approximate net immigration. So let's find overall population growth is how much. So overall population growth going to be equals to the birth rate 37 per 1000 minus death rate 19 over 1000. This gives you 0.018. So pretty much overall population growth rate is 1.8%. So the population was 150 millions, but growth by this much percent. So how much increases the population? So the population increased by by 150 million. I'm going to put 150 million as a number. 150 million times 0.018. This value, when you multiply, this gives you 2.7 million. That means 20700,000. This is the population increase by the people who born and death on the same country. But here the exactly population increase by 1.05 million is given maybe because of people moved from other country to that country. So the given increase by 1.05 million, if you write this as a whole number, you get 1.05 times million, that gives you 1050000. So this is exact number of the population increased by, and since by given birth and death rate, this is the population increased by, and if you subtract this two number, you get net immigration. So net immigration is going to be net immigration to the country going to be 270,000 minus 1050000, and you subtract it, you get the net immigration, which is 165,000. That's the net immigration. Okay. Question number 22. The stack plot uses the stack horizontal bar to show the breakdown of average students' budget at different type of institution. Use the data in the graph to answer the following question. Okay, here's the data here, stack plot here, and there is a how much cost for different type of category of the data. See, tuition fee, room and board, book and supply, transportation, other expenses for different type of colors. So you can see that the here blue line represent tuition fee. This is more here than other category of the data. You can see that this is called stack plot. So based on this stack plot, you got to answer the question here. First question is, which category varies the least among the different types of colleges? So which category varies here is varies least. So here tuition varies a lot, and also that room and board vary a lot. So compared to this, all the category looks like the red here is pretty much same. So I should say book and supplies varies least. The answer to this question is book and supply. Okay, book and supplies. Next question. What percentage of the total cost for room and a board for public 2-year commuters? So look for public 2 years commuters. Public 2 years commuter is here. So I'm looking for total cost for room and the board for public commuter. So total cost for the room and board is $9,080, and all costs including total are going to be $18,550. So we're trying to see what percentage is $9,080 of all the costs. So basically you're looking for percentage. Total cost for room and abode going to be $9,080 divided by $18,550 for all the costs here. So you divide this and you change the percentage, you get 48.9%. So 48.9% cost is for room and abode for 2 years public commuters college. So part C, you convert the tuition in public 2 years commuter to the tuition in the public 4-year in-state on campus. So asking for tuition in public 2 years commuter is how much lower percentage than the tuition in public 4 years in-state on campus. So look at the tuition in each campus here. So for public 2-year commuter, that's the tuition and that's the total cost. For public 4-year in-state campus, that is the this is the tuition, and this is the 26,820 is the total. So to find the percentage, as you did before, you divide tuition 3770 divided by total cost 18,550. You get find how much percentage for tuition in 2 years commuter college. This gives you 20.3%. This is 2 years public commuter. Okay, I'm not gonna write that because I just want to say this for that. Okay, now for 4-year public in-state campus, what's the tuition percentage? 10,560 divided by total cost for 4 years in state on campus is 26,820. If you divide and change to the percentage, this is going to be 39.4%. I rounded to 1 decimal places. So this is for 4 years. So what's the how much lower? Of course, public 4-year in-state campus is higher than public 2 years commuter college. So how much lower? So you subtract 39.4% minus 20.3%. This gives you 19.1% lower. Okay, that's the question. Part C. Part D. Tuition in public, private, non-profit 4 years on campus. Again, you compare the tuition, public, private, non-profit 4-year campus. This is the last one here. That's the tuition here, 37,650. And you compare with tuition in public 4-year out-of-state campus. So this is tuition 27,020 for public 4 years on a state campus. Let's find the tuition percentage in each campuses. So for for private non-profit 4-year on campus, the tuition percentage is going to be 37,650 divided by total is 54,880. If you divide and change to the percentage, this is going to get 68.6%. Now tuition percentage for 4-year out of state on campus, that's what I'm looking for, is going to be $27,020 divided by 43,280. That's the total tuition to total cost. Okay, and how much percentage of tuition? Going to be 62.4%. Again, now we subtract these two numbers and see how much more. So of course private has more, but how much more? you say 68.6% minus 62.4%. If you subtract, you get 6.2% more in private than public 4-year out of state on campus. Question number 23. The population of the town with the initial population 66,596 grows at the rate of 4.2% per year. Create the exponential function of the form. So here this number initial population is gonna call Q0, and this rate here is R, is 4.2%. We can change the decimal to 0.042. And if you want to create the exponential function, you got to do Q equals to Q0 is 66,596 parenthesis 1 plus R is 0.042 to the power T. Okay, so if you just simplify the inside the parenthesis, you get 66,596 1.042 to the power T. That's the Q equals to. So that's the function we are looking for. As we create the exponential function in that form. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, suppose you work for the company that manufactures cylindrical cans. Can A has a radius 3 and height 4 inches. Can B with radius 4 and height 3 inches. Which can hold more, let's just use the word hold here, which can hold more volume of liquid and how much? So that's the question. Notice that we are talking about the volume of cylinder. Let me draw the cylinder here. This is the cylinder, and this cylinder is just rough sketch here. This cylinder has a height, let's say height 4 here, and the radius is 3. That's the one cylinder. Let's say a cylindrical can. The can B has, let me just sketch here. Can B has radius 4 but height 3. But again, note that this is not draw any scale. Okay, so that's how it looks like. So this is the can B top, this is the can B bottom. You can see that. So what's the volume of the cylinder? You have to use the formula. So volume of the cylinder, can A, has a volume, I should say V equals to pi R square H. That's the formula. Let's put the pi here, and 3 squared times height is 4. So you get, if you use a pi is 3.14, and again the value of pi is going to be 3.14. So if you use 3.14 for pi and you do 3 squared times 4, if you multiply all them together, this can hold 113.04 cubic inches. Inches equal to Q. That's much volume. Can be hold how much volume? With the same formula, you get the pi. Then remember that for the can be has radius 4, you get 4 squared times 3, and you get, if you put the pi is 3.14 and multiply 4 squared is 16 and 3, you get volume of can B is 150.72 inches cube. So the question is, which can hold more volume? So answer is can B hold more volume. How much? You subtract 150.72 minus 113.04 inches cube. So let's subtract that. You get 37.68. Again, if you round it to the nearest whole number, is going to be almost 38 cubic inches more can be hold than can A. Question number 25. Determine the area of the circular enclosure and the square enclosure made with the given amount of fence. This is the fence 72 meter. Okay, this is like kind of, let's say this is the length of 72 meter. So you're making either circular enclosure, you use this 72 meter fence, make a circle like this fence, or make a square here. So both circumference of this is called perimeter of the square is going to be 72, and circumference of the circle going to be 72. You just made two kind of enclosure and compare the area of and comment. Let's see how much area for this um, um, circular square enclosure. Okay, let's find the area of the square enclosure. So this is square enclosure. Total length is 72 meter. So what's the length of one side? All lengths are equal. Let's say this is the x. I could say L here, this is the L here, this is the L here, this is the L here. So L equals to 72 divided by 4 because all sides are equal in the square. So it gives you 18 meter is one side of the length. So area of this enclosure, which is square enclosure, equals to 18 meter times 18 meter, because that's how I find the area of this square, which gives you 324 meter square. Okay, this is the area of square enclosure. Okay, now if you do the same thing for circular enclosure, notice that this is 72 perimeter here. Then you got to find radius. How much is radius for this one? What is R to find the circle area? So you got to find the radius first. Notice that 72 is a perimeter. So perimeter we call C. Okay, here C equals to 2 pi R. That's the formula. Now I know 72 is for C. This way, put this 72 equals 2 pi R. Notice that 72 is a circular circumference. That's the C, because that's the fencing 72 meter we used to make a circle. So 72 equals to 2 pi R. From here you find the R divided by 2 pi. So you cancel 2 pi. So R equals to 72 divided by 2 pi. So if you divide 72 by 2 pi, again you use the calculator, you get 11.46 meter. So this radius of this circular enclosure is 11.46. Again, you use the calculator carefully. Use the pi as 3.14. You multiply 3.14 by 2, and whatever you get in the denominator, divided to 72. Now I got to find the area. Since I have a radius here, so area gonna be pi R squared. Pi is 3.14 times R is 11.46 squared. So if you do calculation here, you get 412.38 meter square. So that's the area of this circular enclosure. So if you compare, obviously if you want to make a enclosure using 72 meter fencing, it's better to make a circular enclosure because that covers more area. So that's why you compare. The comment is with the same length, circular enclosure has more area than square enclosure.